And speaking of players who don't have the gravitas, the pedigree, I hate to admit this, man. What's going on with Bradley Beal? Is he ever serious about winning? Let's keep it a buck.
No, I think Bradley Beal's writing out this contract.
Yeah, my man is living the Washington Wizards life while having KD on his team.
Yeah,
That
I
is
think Bradley
crazy.
Beal.
He said he wants to go to a warm weather city only. Yo, Bradley Beal is a funny guy, man. This is what happens when brand new owners come into the league. They get so caught up with the excitement of their just brand new purchase. We seen this happen with Steve Ballmer, and now we're seeing this happen with the Phoenix Suns owner. It's just you can't buy everyone up expecting to win. And
I think narratives around Bradley Beal are pretty favorable, to be honest with you, despite the Wizards sucking.
yeah, but with Bradley Beal, the owner went out of his way to get a guy with a no trade clause just because,
Yeah,
he thought that he was a star.
yeah. But the whole media will tell you he's a star before that trade went down.
you know, I hate that saying because I feel like the media uses that word for certain guys as like
Well,
a
they use it
branding.
liberally.
It's like they're branding a team player just so a team like the Wizards can get some sort of appeal. But now it's almost like, when did Bradley Beal ever have to live up to that expectation of being a star?
Maybe, man,
Never.
never. Because John Wall was kind of the star of that show. When Beal was the kind of when the Wizards were kind of at their peak, John Wall was that main star.
I would say this: if a star doesn't make the playoffs and everyone knows there's disappointment, and then they go, "Oh man, he had a horrible season," that's when you can tell that player's a star. Like, damn, he didn't make the playoffs, then they make a whole big deal out of it. If you don't make the
Yeah.
playoffs and it's crickets, you're not a star.
I mean, when's the
You're not a
last time the
star.
Wizards made the playoffs? 2019 under Russell Westbrook.
Say that again.
The last time they made the playoffs was 2019 under Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, right? And so Beal, and obviously, when we talk about the 2010 runs, the late 2010 runs, I kind of give more credit to John Wall.
Oh yeah, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
'cause Wall was
But
a
you know,
hooper.
I can't fully blame those guys because the organization didn't really put enough around those guys like that. They kind of relied on just Beal and Wall. But at the end of the day, it's almost like it's just they
I
never
think
really had any expectations.
Well, the
They,
Wizards, to be honest with you, after Wall went down, they just kind of did the whole next man up, and that's where Beal kind of got that crazy contract that we're now talking about, right? It was a next man up kind of ordeal. But my thing is, regardless,
no, wait, hold
the
on, hold on.
next man up,
He got that contract after a ton of losing seasons.
he
Let's not
got that
forget that.
contract what year though?
He whenever he got that contract, they were already losing badly for
Yeah,
2
whenever he
seasons.
got that contract, Wall was almost out the NBA. He had 1 foot out.
Yeah, but it was like a known thing. Like even after he signed that deal, that his team wouldn't be relevant for like another 3 to 4 more years. Like they were in a complete rebuild when he got that deal.
Beal was fine with that, right? He had empty stats, empty numbers, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And the Wizards are kind of they're fine with it, right? And through that, the media, let's be honest, ESPN, they kind of look at numbers, and Beal has good numbers, and through that, they're able to kind of maybe oversell him to the average audience. And the Suns, they bought into the juice.
Yeah, and then what you just said right there, oversell them to the average audience. That's what's killing the NBA right now. They're overselling guys who have no real expectations and who are not stars. They've been doing it for a while now, and it's a little bit too saturated. It's a little bit too saturated right now. A lot of these guys are not stars. There's only maybe 10, as far as superstars, there's only 3 in the league. The other guys are just the best. Some of these guys are just the best players on their team. That's it.
I think Bradley Beal and those guys should be on a grading scale to keep it real. I'd say a B tier star. That'd be the best definition for Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has Kevin Durant on his team trying to chase a championship to win it by himself outside of Golden State. And this guy is talking about warm weather city. Like this shit is crazy, bro. This shit is
Yeah,
crazy.
he's played his hand on this deal. Obviously, Phoenix is a nice city, so he's playing his hand on this deal and everything like that. Did you also see that? Like Phoenix Suns, like the locker room has kind of been on a bad term right now because of the
It's the
Kevin Durant
domino
trades.
effect of Beal. That's why. It's
Yeah,
the situation with Beal is there's no flexibility with that. The only option they have is what they resorted to, shopping around KD.
yeah,
That's unreal. Now they're shopping around KD. Everyone's wondering, okay, why did I take a pay cut to come here? Didn't their point guard, what's his name? Tyus Jones? They have a point guard on
yeah,
the team right now. He took a pay cut to be there.
yeah. A lot of guys took a pay cut to be there. It's a
Yeah,
bad
let me
look
see
for the
what my
Phoenix Suns
bad.
organization.
What's his name? My
I
bad.
think Monte Morris also took a pay cut along with Tyus Jones.
Is that his name? Tyus Jones? Yeah,
Yeah,
Tyus
Tyus
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah,
took
the
he took
former
a pay
Memphis
cut.
Grizzlies point guard. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of players took a pay cut to play there, right? And obviously, like Royce O'Neal and those guys kind of got paid generous, but it's a bad look for that organization. And man, like
And
now
I'm
the
pretty
Suns
sure
morale is dog shit.
Grayson Allen was told to kind of take a lesser deal because they were paying tax and that they were going after a championship. But just now you have to shop around KD. The owner owes $167 million in taxes for this current team. I mean, they're just stuck. I mean, shit, they were willing to give KD to their in division rival, the Golden State Warriors. It was Kevin Durant who
And the
fucking
Memphis
rejected the
Grizzlies.
trade. Yeah, but the Memphis Grizzlies not even in their division, but it's just this
Well,
is a
still same
mess.
conference.
Yeah,
Same
same
conference.
conference, but this is a mess, man.
Yeah.
This is a mess, and KD's legacy is attached to all this, man. Oh,
Yeah, that post Warriors run does not look good. And I think that also plays into why he did not show interest in staying with
the Warriors, right?
the Warriors. Yep. That's why he didn't want to go traded
And
there.
plus, let's just say what it is, man. Draymond is still there. Draymond is still there, and he's still acting the same way that he did when KD was there. It's years later, and Draymond is still turning up the same way he did when KD was there. Out of control. No one in the organization
Yeah.
is saying shit. Come on, let's keep it a buck, man.
Yeah,
This
I don't
guy's
think
out of
either of those
fucking
guys want to.
control.
Either of those guys don't want to fucking play with each other.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, Draymond, in a way, he really cost this team a lot, man. When they look back,
Yeah.
because right now they could have got KD and could have got bailed out of this situation. But this Draymond Green really has cost this team the 2016 championship with the suspension, the fucking Jordan Poole rebuild, which was a cheat code. Now you have to get rid of him, attach a first round pick just to say goodbye.
Washed up star.
Yeah. And now you got a fucking gift from God. KD's in a bad situation. Now he's like, oh, damn, you still over there. Nah, I ain't going over there.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a horrible look for them, man.
Sheesh, man. But Chris Haynes actually gave some insight on the dynamics of the Phoenix Suns locker room. And things were quite interesting right here.
The Phoenix Suns knew it was going to be a difficult pathway to try to get Jimmy Butler over there, but Jimmy Butler was the Phoenix Suns' #1 target. That was their only target. They still were optimistic this entire time that at some point they can find a destination that Bradley Beal will approve. I was told that Bradley Beal wanted to be in a warm weather climate. They tried calling some of those warm weather cities, some of those warm weather teams. There wasn't mutual interest. And so that's what made it tough. And then today, that's why I said this was just so wild. And then today, when we got word that Bradley Beal was not going to waive that no trade clause leading up to the deadline, we were hearing talks about potentially a swap of Kevin Durant for Jimmy straight up. And I thought that was ludicrous because I thought they want Jimmy to play with KD and Book. And then that fell through because Miami didn't have enough assets to give back to Phoenix. Phoenix was not going to do a one-on-one swap. And so that complicated things. And so Phoenix Suns, they're left with the team that is intact. But what I was told, the Suns feel very optimistic that now with uncertainty of some of the players' futures in the short term being out the way, they feel like in the second half they can go into it with improved play. So we should see if that is the case.
So what you're saying right now, because Kevin Durant's name has been floating around and you've talked about him in a couple scenarios, Kevin Durant's not going anywhere.
Doesn't look that way. Kevin Durant's not going anywhere, and Bradley Beal for sure is not going anywhere.
No, man, listen, he bought his house in Phoenix. He chilling.
Hey, so did Luka at one point, too.
Oh, you know,
yeah.
he didn't have that no trade
Yeah,
clause.
right.
That's different.
Damn, that boy is chilling.
Yeah.
He is chilling, man. But that dynamic it's not good because, you know, we've always heard this. Teams that always have guys that are potentially, you know, thrown in trade rumors. You know, it's hard to stay focused after that. It's hard for everyone to kind of build up some sort of chemistry, some sort of bonding. 'Cause,
Especially when you're a player like Kevin Durant, too.
yeah, Kevin Durant is just, man, you know, he does have, you know, looking at the Phoenix Suns, you know, salary cap here, you know, his contract is about to be expiring next season. So Phoenix might be looking to shop him around. It's fully guaranteed, but, you know, Phoenix could shop him around and perhaps, you know, kind of get some sort of relief for him, especially with that $167 million tax bill coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
There's not much flexibility. They kind of have to buy flexibility.
yeah, and then, you know, Chris Haynes wasn't the only one. Ramona Shelburne actually gave some insight on the Suns locker room too. Let's check it out.
The word I would use, I mean, he said glum, I'll use toxic.
Wow.
like that shoot around yesterday I heard was very awkward, very weird in Oklahoma City because everybody was on pins and needles wondering what they were going to do. And I think now you have this reset where how do you move forward as a team when there was a clear mandate here, like they have to do something. And if they're not able to get anything done, which is, as we say, you talked about it in the open, there's aprons, there's all this stuff. I mean, it's really hard to do something. And the thing they were trying to do did not come to fruition because Kevin Durant said no. It's hard to move forward, and that's where they're left. And I think, look, they had this sort of fool's gold run about 3 weeks ago. They won 8 out of 10. Things looked okay. And then they realized afterwards they were just kind of beating bad teams. And then they started losing again. And I think the conversations between Phoenix and the Warriors, those started 10 days ago.
Yeah.
10 days ago. And that's when, you know, they were essentially, if we can't move Bradley Beal, we have to think about Kevin Durant. Now, do they want to move Kevin Durant? Probably not. I mean, they love Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
They gave up so much to get him. But if he's the only person who is worth something right now that you can get a great return for, you have to think about it. So for the last 10 days, these conversations with the Warriors and other teams, by the way, have been happening. And Kevin Durant finds out about this over the weekend.
Sheesh, she said toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic, man. It's getting that bad.
That's going to be a conversation. The new owner, the conversation, James Jones, and, you know, Mike Budenholzer and Kevin Durant will have a talk over. Because that's going to take a lot of reconciliating of, you know, trying to compete and also not being a team that can compete, along with trading away your best player or your second best player.
Man, I'll say, man, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, I think the Suns are done.
Yeah, it's because it's systematically over. Like, they can't get anyone new. Bradley Beal trading for someone with a no trade clause who's unproven. It was never a good idea. It was never
And
a
these
good
younger
idea.
teams like Houston, Oklahoma, and Memphis, they're a lot better. And I think even older teams like the Clippers that managed should be a lot better. The Lakers, obviously, now with Luka, they got younger. So where does that leave the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, I'm you know what? I've always asked myself this question. Did KD take any initiative when he went to Phoenix the same way he did in Brooklyn? You know, with the coaching hire, with the, you know, the personnel. Did he take initiative? Because
Well, I mean, dude, he's seen 3 head coaches since he's came into Phoenix.
yeah, because no, but it doesn't make sense, the Bradley Beal move. And this is why I say this is the end of the superstar choosing his own teammates. This has to be the end of it. It doesn't work. It does not work. And you can see it every year on the players who they think are all-stars, who they think are the better players. It's a complete different opinion than the writers, than the GMs, and also the fans. Like it's a complete different opinion. It's amazing some of the players that the NBA players themselves rank above other people. When the fans are
dude,
like,
a lot
"Whoa,
of
we
them
don't even
view
see that."
Allen Iverson as the greatest basketball player of all time. For example.
I mean, it's not even. I mean, at least AI got his team to the finals, but I'm just talking about like you'll be
But I'm
shocked,
just
man.
saying, right? Like a lot of them don't really watch basketball like that to begin with.
It's almost like the players see what other guys could do that they can't do, and they give them some crazy ranking.
Or maybe they view it as one-on-one basketball. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so. When you really look at it, some of these guys really rank other guys based off of one-on-one if they could beat them.
Yeah.
It's not all off the overall game.
It's not off of team basketball, where I think fans view it more of it.
Because if it was from the overall game, you would see more guys give Kawhi Leonard a higher ranking. But you never hear them say like, oh, you never hear him speak of Kawhi nowhere near the level of some of these other players. Nowhere near it.
Yeah, nowhere near like Tracy McGrady, for example, right? Even though I know like now people view like Kawhi to be greater, but you don't see Kawhi's offensive abilities get loved as Tracy McGrady's.
Man, hey, I'm telling you, man, these guys, some of these players sound like they would put Vince Carter above Kawhi Leonard. And no lie.
Yeah.
Some of them would.
Yeah.
They would. And that's why I said it's the end of this era of these guys just saying, I want this guy as my teammate, that guy's my teammate. That shit has to end. It was always bad. It was always bad, and sometimes it didn't even work out for LeBron. Look at LeBron with Westbrook. It just,
LeBron, you remember that whole 2017, 2018 squad to start off that season?
Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, LeBron was going to trade Kyrie Irving for fucking Eric Bledsoe.
So there's a lot of bad examples that you could bring up, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
It makes sense why Pat Riley never listened to LeBron. He's like, hey, you got your job, I got mine.
Pat Riley was that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or he is that kind of guy. I mean, why am I...
KD actually has something interesting to say about the Luka trade, and I believe it kind of relates to himself as he was asked about it. And, you know, sometimes these guys, they think that they're talking in analogies and they're really talking about themselves. Let's check it out.
Into the trade.
Insane. Well, it's crazy. Yeah, would have never thought Luka Doncic get traded at this age, you know, mid-season. Yes, NBA is a wild place, man. If he can get traded, then anybody's up, you know, for grabs, you know. So yeah, so fans, you know, by spectating is pretty fun. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking, though, probably for Luka and everybody in Dallas, LA, AD. So everybody involved, I'm sure, their heads are spinning right now.
And just as a player, does this kind of underscore the transactional nature of this business?
It's always been transactional. The players are held to a different standard of loyalty and commitment to a program. But the organizations don't get held to that same standard from the outside world, either whether from media members or fans. And we all should be held to that same standard. Like, it's a transactional game. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of business involved too. So we shouldn't be too shocked about trades with guys moving to different teams, or coaches moving to different teams. It's just the nature of playing basketball and us making this much money involved too. So it's pretty wild times, man, NBA, especially around trade deadline time. I know everybody's gonna be watching their phone the next week. We got 5 days. I know everybody gonna be following the updates. So yeah, it's crazy. It's just the nature of the sport, man. Anything can happen, man. Keep you on edge.
Do you think it'll force other teams to do something big?
For sure. I mean, you start seeing stuff like that, and you, as an organization, you might get a little bit more courage to do some stuff when you see another team trade away somebody like that.
Right.
This got to be the biggest trade I've seen since I've been in the league, or since I've been watching the sport. This is insane. So yeah, every other team might get confidence and say, "Fuck it, I'll trade my." You know what I'm saying? My top players, a few of my top players. Fuck it, this ain't working. But yeah, I'm still shocked.
And ironically, that actually came true. hey, this ain't working. Fuck it, I'm trading my top players. It's crazy. KD already predicted that because he kind of sensed it.
Maybe by the time you probably already heard whispers, man.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
sensed it. Like, yo, Bradley Beal ain't budging. Man, it's over. Yeah, so
50% loyalty, that's a respectable statement. It's not bad. I don't have a problem with it. He's kind of right in some ways with how fans view their teams and kind of view loyalty. I think loyalty is a 50-50 streak. Basketball is all about business, obviously. So as long as like basketball players can compete on a certain team, they're always going to stay. But if they feel like they can't for whatever reason, they're always going to look to move. And that's just life. That's business in general, right? We stay in jobs that we think we can move up on. We move up in, and we kind of move on from jobs to go to another job when the opportunity comes for a better opportunity.
correct.
So I can't fault players on that. It sucks and it stings, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that the players, they will slowly find out that the way the league is set up right now, that new agreement that they came up with the unions and the owners,
They're fucked.
it's not even their fuck. It took away their mobility. It gave the owners all the leverage, and I think Luka getting traded is kind of their eyes beginning to open up. A lot of the guys, they don't know how to interpret this yet, but they'll slowly realize, like, you know, hey, I don't think what they call player movement. I think that era is long gone.
Yeah, I think that 2010 era of player movement is dying in front of our eyes.
Yep.